I'm gonna do a little video about my above ground Intex pool that we converted to a saltwater pool with the sand filter, and also added a surface skimmer along with removing all the cheap flexible Intex piping that's provided with the kit when you get this pool. So when you get this pool, you can actually order it with the Intex sand filter, and the filter actually works very well for what it is, but I always struggled with the pool chemistry, so did a lot of research and went with a Hayward salt system. Includes the turbo cell, which is basically your salt cell, or salt, whatever you want to call it. And whenever we put it away every year, we put it in a storage shed as seen in the background. I put unions on everything so it can be all folded up and put away neatly. The biggest thing about these systems was these connections here on the pump and the discharge of the pump and the suction side of the pump. It seemed like they have their own proprietary threads. It's not quite a pipe thread, but pipe threads do fit on there. So what I ended up doing was taking a hose like this, cutting it off right before that first corrugation, and then actually gluing it into a coupling on each fitting there, and then running 1.5 PVC to the skimmer and to the jets. So when you get this pool, it actually has two suction lines there and there that go to the return of the pump, and then the only jet is where this skimmer is located. So I basically flip-flopped the flow, utilized the two suction ports as my jets now with the discharge side of the pump, cut the holes out for these actual Hayward pool jets. That one kind of got discolored, but it's a regular adjustable socket eye pool jet. And then actually added ball valves, so when back flushing, none of the debris from the pump gets in there, and I can actually flush it from that little ball valve over there out into the grass. And a lot of people struggle with the above ground pools like this because of the surface debris that is not picked up off the top of the water, because you simply don't have a skimmer like a normal in-ground pool has, as where this pool skimmer is actually designed for an above ground pool, but more for like a doughboy or something along the lines of a hard-sided above ground pool. But it works just fine for a soft-sided pool like this. And all you have to do is trace out the opening of the skimmer, cut it out, and then put the screws in, and then just plumb it to your pump. A world of difference. Our neighbors have a 20-foot pool and they struggle with debris on the top of the pool all the time, so they're constantly cleaning off the debris. So this salt cell actually goes back to this, the Aquatrol salt chlorine generator. This is basically a transformer that takes 120 volt power and converts it into a DC voltage. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is the actual parts per million of salt in the water. Click on that, it shows you the temperature of the water. This is the voltage to the cell, 27.6 volts DC. 4.92 amps. This is your percentage on your desired output. This is your average salt in the water reading. This is the version of the software and the revision number. So basically this is made for a above ground permanent pool like a Doughboy or something similar, and they typically want you to keep the salt level from 2,700 to 3,400 parts per million as shown on a recommended chemistry, and shows you a little diagram of what to look for if you're having issues. Pretty simple. I don't use the timer function. I just run my pump 24/7 just to keep it filtering all the time, and I never had seen an issue. This is typically for a pool roughly about 20,000 gallons, and in this 18-foot round pool that I have is only roughly 8,000 gallons, so definitely big enough to handle, and I literally have to touch nothing all summer long other than watch the alkalinity and the pH of the water. So other than backwashing and vacuuming the bottom of the pool from debris from the kids getting in and out and dust and dirt. And you also want to invest in a solar cover. It's a world of difference for keeping heat if you're in a colder climate like I am. Up in the Midwest, it keeps the heat overnight, whereas before we were dipping down into the 70s inside the pool, but now it keeps it a constant 80, 85 all summer long, even up into the 90s when it gets warm up here. So just a quick video about everything that I have set up, and I've had a lot of questions about it. So if you have any other things you want to ask, just shoot it in the comments. Thanks.